The SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, the junior novelization. Chapter 3. SpongeBob and Patrick looked up toward the voice and saw something very unusual. A strange creature floating down using a giant jellyfish as a parachute. Though the creature was new to Patrick and SpongeBob, anyone on land would instantly recognize her as a young squirrel wearing a spacesuit with a glass-domed helmet. She carried a clipboard in one gloved paw. When her feet touched the ocean floor, she let go of the jellyfish's tentacles. SpongeBob and Patrick ran over to greet her. "Hello!" Patrick called. "Who are you?" "Why, I'm Sandy Cheeks from Texas," the squirrel announced. "Hi, Sandy," SpongeBob said. "I'm SpongeBob, and this is Patrick." "Pleased to meet ya," Sandy replied. SpongeBob looked closer at Sandy's interesting outfit. "Does everybody wear spacesuits in Texas?" Sandy chuckled. "They do if they want to visit you underwater craters. We all breathe air on the surface." "Oh, right, air," Patrick said, nodding as if he understood Sandy perfectly. "What's air?" Sandy explained with a shrug. "It's just our way of synthesizing oxygen, same as you do with water." Patrick stood there blankly. SpongeBob was impressed with Sandy's explanation. "Whoa!" he said. "Are you a scientist?" Sandy giggled. "Nope, I'm a sixth grader. I like to observe stuff and then write it down and tell the whole class my findings." That sounded like a scientist to SpongeBob. "So," he said slowly, "you could be a scientist someday." That made Sandy laugh. "You're a hoot, little dude." "Why not?" SpongeBob asked. "I think you'd make a great scientist, Sandy." She shook her head. Sandy shook her head in disbelief. "I'd be just as likely to live down here in a glass dome with a tree in it." That thought made her laugh again. SpongeBob grinned. "You never know." They both laughed. SpongeBob gave Sandy a friendly little punch. She gave him a friendly little punch back. "Ow!" He punched her just a tiny bit harder. She punched him back again. "Ouch!" Giggling, they headed off with Patrick. That night, the counselors at Camp Coral invited all the campers to participate in a talent show. After everyone who wanted to perform had done their act, the other campers would vote on which was the most entertaining. Whoever got the most votes would win the coveted Campy Award. Larry, a young lobster who loved lifting weights, stood at the center of the camp stage playing his accordion. At the end of the number, he demonstrated his awesome strength by ripping the accordion in half. Rip! The campers applauded. They liked Larry's act, especially the surprise ending. As Larry walked off the stage, Mrs. Puff came out. She was the show's MC. "Thank you, Larry," she said into the microphone. "You'll go far. Remember, people, somebody has to take home this year's Campy Award for Most Talented Performer, so don't forget to vote." The campers in the audience nodded, holding up their ballots to show Mrs. Puff that they hadn't forgotten. Backstage, SpongeBob and Patrick were getting ready to perform their act. They'd worked up a song, so they were warming up their voices. "La la 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 la," SpongeBob sang. "Me me 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 me," Patrick warbled. Squidward arrived just then, carrying a black case. "Greetings, Camp Coral Palsies," he said. "I'm Squidward." "Hello, Squidward," SpongeBob said. "I'm SpongeBob." "And I'm Patrick," Patrick added. "Are you performing in the talent show?" SpongeBob asked. "You betcha," Squidward said confidently, opening the mysterious case. He removed a musical instrument. "My parents didn't spend good money on my clarinet lessons not to have me walk away with the Campy Award. That sucker is mine. To demonstrate how effective his expensive lessons had been, Squidward blew into the clarinet. It made a peeping sound. Whoop! SpongeBob and Patrick were impressed. Whoa! Patrick said, "He's a pro!" On the stage, Mrs. Pup introduced the next contestant. And now, a special performance by Squidward. "Well, good luck," Squidward said as he headed out. "To me!" Squidward strode onto the stage. SpongeBob and Patrick hurried into the audience to watch. "We gotta see this," said SpongeBob. Carrying his clarinet, Carrying his clarinet, Squidward crossed to the center of the stage and addressed the audience. "I would now like to perform Tentacles of Despair by me, Squidward Tentacles. And please save your applause until after the performance." For a moment, Squidward stood still. Then he raised the instrument to his mouth and started blowing. There was a long squeak that shattered into a series of snarls and shrieks. The other campers looked dumbfounded. They never heard anything like Squidward's playing before. Mrs. Puff sensed that the audience had heard enough. She lifted the needle off the record and the music stopped. "Thank you, Squidward," she said. "Just lovely. So memorable." SpongeBob and Patrick jumped up and down excitedly in their seats. "Yay, Squidward!" they cheered. "Nailed it! Bravo! Bravo!" Squidward bowed. "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Vote for me." After several more bows, he leapt off stage. Mrs. Puff looked at her list. And now our next act, SpongeBob and Patrick. Stay tuned for Chapter 4, coming up soon.